ईशाविधे उपासना प्रकरणम्.
A very good morning to you all again. I welcome you to
Good
this
morning,
day
sir.
4 session. We have our distinguished speaker, invited speaker with us. Now I invite Professor Pankaj Madan sir to introduce him.
Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitruvaridyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonam Prachodaya. Welcome all. Today we have a very distinguished guest, a guest of honor, Vice Chancellor of Sage University, Professor V.K. Jain Saab. Since last 3 days, you have been listening to word of wisdom of different Vice Chancellors. But I would say that today we have the Vice Chancellor with us and a good friend of mine whom you can follow as a role model, who started his journey as assistant professor and now is Vice Chancellor. And especially those who are from private institutions, they have been asking this question, sir, can you tell us the role model, someone in academia of Indian universities or Indian academia? So I would say that you can see the profile of Professor V.K. Jain Saab and follow him. I'm not reading his profile. Why? Because I want you to visit his website and see his profile and look at what has been his journey. And now he is Vice Chancellor of Sage University. Jain Saab, I heartily welcome you to this program. And I would request you for your word of wisdom and blessings for 5 to 6 minutes for the participants. Although we have 200 registered participants, but I think due to this Tufan of in Mumbai and various places, I think they are about to join. So we are 88 now, but I think within next 5 minutes we will be more than 120. Sir, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Madan. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Dr. Madan, for inviting me to address the faculty colleagues, I would say, friends, and who are going to be the future vice chancellors of the country, because in next 20 years, I would like to see all of you to become vice chancellors of different universities. And you are doing a wonderful job in this pandemic, wherein people are at home and they are not able to find out what to do. And in such a scenario, organizing such an FDP and a very, very important topic like academic leadership and management of technical institutions, it's really a very, very wonderful topic. And this topic is very important for all of us, because we all want to grow in our life, in our career, because you may be assistant professor or associate professor. You want to become your next step would be the HOD, then next step may be the director or dean in any university. Then you may like to become a pro VC or registrar, or then finally to become vice chancellor. So nothing important, nothing new, like leadership is a leadership. And you may be listening to various very, very important speakers who may have been talking about what is academic leadership and what are the important traits of an academic leader. And so I am not going to talk all that, but the most important thing which has happened in last 2 years, just after the pandemic, the most important quality a leader must have, that is the technology friendliness. It has become very, very important, because and nowadays the children at home, faculty members, and everybody in the academic system is technology friendly. So that is very, very important for all of us. And I would like to quote the 7 important habits of any effective leader, any successful leader in this world. And that all the 7 habits have been told by the Stephen Covey. You all of you must have read his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I would like to re-emphasize on all those 7 habits, And then after that, I would conclude my talk with my three important steps, which each one of us, if we will follow, then nobody can stop us in becoming the academic leader. His first first important lesson is be proactive. As we all know that in all of our academic activities, whether you are teaching in the class or you are guiding a project or you are handling a research and development project, you have to be very, very proactive. Whenever any opportunity comes, you have to grab that opportunity. So proactiveness has to be displayed at different levels, right from assistant professor to the vice chancellor level. So proactiveness is one. Second is begin with the end in the mind. Whatever thing we are planning, we must go up to the end point. We must plan properly so that we can reach to the final destination. And planning has to be done so importantly, so meticulously that we are reaching to the final end. Then only we can get the satisfaction. In the beginning, you may plan that you want to reach there, but sometimes you may get the success, sometimes you may not. But आपको success से घबराना नहीं है. You need not to fear of the success. That will automatically follow us. The third point is first thing first. It means we have to prioritize our things. In our day-to-day life, we feel like pressure that my dean or my vice chancellor has given me 10 jobs to do. What to do, when to do, how to do. So we need to prioritize, and we must learn how to conclude the jobs. We are having 8-10 jobs in our hand, but if we are able to conclude, prioritize number one. Second, if we are able to conclude this, then it would give us the lot of peace and lot of confidence that yes, out of 10, I have concluded 3 today, and rest of the things would be concluded by tomorrow or something like that. Now the fourth point is think win-win. Now the time has gone that we were talking about only win or win-lose situation. We are not in this world. We are not going to survive if we are not thinking a win-win situation. Win-win situation in all environments, whether it is a teacher and student, whether it is a teacher and teacher, that is the peer networking or relationship, or a teacher with the boss or the higher ups. So we need to work out such a strategy so that we all can think of a win-win situation. Then very important point, seek first to understand and then to be understood. This is so important that normally it is seen that different teachers talks about, they are having the habit of speaking. They don't want to understand the other's problem. First, let us try to understand the problem of our fellow colleagues, our students, or maybe our boss, or whosoever it may be in our circle. Then we should try to impose our viewpoint on them. Then coming to the very, very important point, which is the very important trait of a leader, that is the synergize. So a synergy has to be created amongst all the members, all the stakeholders, whether it is a alumni, whether it is a student or an industry expert or colleagues or whosoever, even that to that extent within the family members. Nowadays, in the pandemic, you may have seen family members are at home, they are not feeling comfortable, and most of the time they are busy in their mobile phones or laptops. They are seeing the web series, this and that. So synergize is a very, very important aspect which we all must consider. And coming to the last one, that is the sharpening the saw. Sharpening the saw means we have to keep on upgrading our skills on day-to-day basis. If this is not done, we are out of the system. The time has gone, then we would be going to the classroom and teaching on the blackboard and with the chalk and duster, this and all that. Now, with this pandemic situation, everyone is online and everyone can enter into your class. They can ask you to produce the video recording of your lecture. So those times have gone. So we have to keep on updating ourselves, whether it is in terms of knowledge, it is in terms of presentation skills, in terms of technology. So this updation is required to be done every day. I would like to quote a small story here, which may take around 1 minute or time. there were two woodcutters and they were appointed by king, and both of them were given a fresh new axe to cut the trees. Their job was to bring 10 trees cutting from the forest and deposit it in the at the particular place. So day one, the woodcutter number one has cut 10 trees. Both of them have cut 10 trees. The next day, the first one could cut 10 trees. The other one could cut only 9. Third day, first one 10 again. The second one 8. So the performance of the second person was getting deteriorated day by day. On the 10th day, the person could not cut, the second person could not cut even a single tree. Then he went to the king and asked, I am going every day to the forest. I am working harder than my colleague, and he is able to cut 10 trees every day, but I could not cut even a single tree today. I was satisfied that even I could cut 1 or 2 trees, but I could not do that. So king called him. Then king said, when did you sharpen your axe? He says, no, Devan, when you have given, so I am using the same axe. I am not sharpening it. So he said that is the difference between you and him. He is able to manage his performance on day-to-day basis, and your performance is going down. So the lesson from this is we need to keep on upgrading our skills and knowledge and capabilities, and for which you all are attending the faculty development program so nicely organized by Gurukul Kangdi University under leadership of Dr. Pankaj Madan. He is a good friend of mine for last many years. These were the 7 habits of Stephen Covey given by him. Now, my 3 teachings to you, I always adopt. Why I have become Vice Chancellor in the age of 48, and I became the youngest director in the country in the age of 34. So for last 14, 15 years, I am into administrative position, academic leadership position, managing the technical institutions, right from management to engineering college to the university now. So I have always adopted, 3 principles in my life. I call it HIS approach, HIS. His approach. What H stands for honesty, I stands for integrity, and S stands for sincerity. If we all will follow this approach, his approach, then nobody can stop us in getting the success. And one day, definitely, we are going to become very, very effective leader. And as a teacher, you must keep on trying. You must keep on trying. And sometimes you may get success. I have interacted with many people. They say, I am writing a R&D project, but and submitting to UGC or AICTE, but it is not getting approved. Please see what was the error in your proposal. What was the problem? Whether you have written the right methodology, or you have taken the right objectives. Keep on revising, talk to your seniors, take the guidance from them. And finally, definitely, if you keep on improving, one day your project would be definitely successful and you would be awarded a R&D project supported by any funding agency. So I would like to conclude my talk with the last four lines of Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan. He says that असफलता एक चुनौती है स्वीकार करो, असफलता एक चुनौती है स्वीकार करो, क्या कमी रह गई देखो और सुधार करो, जब तक न सफल हो नींद चैन की त्यागो तुम, संघर्षों का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम, कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jain Saab. I think we are all obliged and we are thankful to you for such a great word of wisdom from your side. I wish that most of us got motivated by these words, and we will remember his approach, which is being used by you. And I wish that it will bring a lot of change in the life of our young academicians. Thank you so much. Thanks for your visit. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank
For
you. So
joining
nice
the
of
program.
you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Now I would like to invite the session planner, Shelza, to continue with the program.
Thank you, sir, for having me on board. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to one and all presented here. Now, without taking much time, I would like to invite our today's chairperson, sir, Professor Sambhu Prasad, who is currently serving as the principal of Pragati Engineering College, Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh, since 2012, with having almost 3 decades of experience in teaching and research. Sir, we're glad to have you as an essential part of this FDP. With this small introduction, I hand over the session to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Shailaja. Good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, you are audible.
Respected Professor V.K. Jain, Honorable Vice Chancellor of SESSION University, Bhopal. Respected Professor Pankaj Madan, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology and Coordinator of FTP. Respected Dr. Suryash Bharadwaj, Co-Coordinator of FTP. Honorable Speaker of the session, Professor Rajat Agarwal. Organizing team members of this session, Mrs. Ashna Joseph, Dr. Vivek Pandey, Ms. Shailaja, Ms. Himani Sharma, Ms. Shreya Arora, and respected academicians, leaders, and fellow participants from length and breadth of our motherland. It's my proud privilege to extend a hearty welcome to one and all. It is said that every auspicious work should be started with Ishwar Vandana. So nothing could be better than starting today's session with Ishwar Vandana. For this, I would like to invite Ms. Himani Sharma. Over to you, Madam Himani Sharma.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Now I will start Ishwar Vandana. यह प्राणतो निमिषतो महित्वेक इंद्रजा जगतो वभो या ईशे अस्य श्रीपदेश चतुष्पद कस्मे देवाय हविषा विधे। मंत्रार्थ, जो प्राणधारी चेतन और अप्राणधारी जड़ जगत का अपनी अनंत महिमा के कारण एक अकेला ही सर्वोपरि राजा हुआ है, जो इस 2 पैरों वाले मनुष्य आदि और 4 पैरों वाले पशु आदि प्राणियों की रचना करता है और उनका सर्वोपरि स्वामी है, हम उस सुख स्वरूप एवं प्रजापालक, शुद्ध एवं प्रकाश स्वरूप दिव्य सामर्थ्य युक्त परमात्मा की प्राप्ति के लिए योगाभ्यास एवं हव्य द्रव्यों द्वारा विशेष भक्ति करते हैं. This means he through his own glory is the sole king of this entire breathing and winking world. He controls all bipeds and quadrupeds. Unto that blissful divinity we do offer our worship with love and devotion. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for glorifying our day with Ishwar Vandana. I hope everyone is feeling more refreshing now. Now, the FDP coordinator, Professor Pankaj Madan, has already invited our Professor V.K. Singh, Honorable VC, special guest of today, and he has completed his address. Now I am just moving to the next item. Now I am inviting Ms. Shreya for Vedic mantra chanting. Over to Ms. Shreya.
Thank you so much, sir, for bringing me on the board. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Please continue.
Om Sangachadvam Samvadvam Samvo Mansim Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sajjanana Upasate Samano Mantraha Samiti Samani Samanam Manah Sachittameshvam Samanam Mantra Abhimantrayavah Samanen Vo Havisha Juhomi Samani Va Akuti Samani Hriday Pani Vah Samanamastu Va Mano Yatha Vah Suhasati. This mantra was from Rig Veda 10:191 from 2 to 3. May you all live in harmony, speak in one voice, and let other your minds be in harmony. May your purpose be the same way. May we all be of one mind, in order for such unity to form. I offer a common prayer. May your intentions and aspirations be alike, so that a common objective unifies us all. This Rigvedic mantra emphasizes the unity of minds to create healthy and powerful organizations for prosperity and happiness of all, and to promote fellow feelings and righteousness. This is the basis for all human rights. All are equal and share universal brotherhood for overall development of the society. Without distinction of superior and inferior, we are all brothers, growing up together for common prosperity. Concept which is emphasized here is mutual assistance and cooperation for the development of the society. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for explaining the meaning of this mantra. I believe each of the participants presented here might have their own perception of this mantra. So I would like to ask the participants about their thoughts on today's thought for the day or question for the discussion. How unity helps in leadership. I repeat, how unity helps in leadership. I have posted the question in the chat box also. I request the participants to participate in the discussion and throw your views and share your views to the audience.
Hello, sir. May I speak or I should write it down in chat box only,
No,
sir?
please, madam. You can speak, madam. Please speak. You can speak.
Okay. Good morning, all dear friends and respected sir. Sir, when we are talking about a leadership, leader alone cannot walk on the path of the success. He has to bring the whole team on the path of the success. Then only he or she becomes a successful leader. So if there is no unity in the whole team, then leader cannot walk on the path. One person can go move, one person can go backside, so there is no kind of a unity and there is a no work at all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Can I say something, sir?
Yeah, please, madam.
I'm Joita Shah from Kolkata. Unity is very important because it helps to unite everyone towards working to a common goal. And if the goal is not common, then there cannot be any success. And a very fine example of this is the movie Chak De India, where we see the coach, Shah Rukh Khan, first working towards bringing unity in the team. And teaching everyone that if you have to win, you cannot work for your own objective. You have to work for the common goal, and that is to to give everyone the chance to do their best. And that is why I think unity is very important in leadership.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Myself, I'm Deepa Narayanan.
Good morning, madam. Please.
Thank you, sir. And in line with what Sheetal ma'am has told and Joita ma'am has told, I would really like to strongly vouch, telling that unity is the real strength to build a strong leadership. This can actually be seen in a practical example in the flight of birds. Whenever we see a flight of birds, it's actually in a sort of particular shape where if we actually see each and every member takes the lead at a time, and because of this, it really actually creates aerodynamic density and it helps all the birds to go for a very far place, fly even 6,000 to 7,000 kilometers also together, because each and every team member takes a place to be a leader at once, and there's a strong unity. And at the same time, we see this unity even in the animals. A herd of cows cannot be killed. A single cow can be easily killed by a lion, but a herd of cows cannot be attacked by a lion easily. These and all are the examples of telling that unity is, of course, the strong strength for a leadership to be built, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I welcome more participants. Please express your views. Some more people can join for sharing your views. I invite on any mail, ma'am. Yeah, please. Somebody is speaking.
Some
Yeah,
of the
Shai.
participants, so some of the participants have also in the chat box also.
Okay, okay. I'll just. So Dr. Mamata Thakur says that productivity is increased, and Dr. Suresh Verma says union gives strength to team, unity gives strength to team. And again, Dr. Mamata Thakur adds quality and quantity of output is many-folded due to unity. And Vijay Kishore says leadership helps develop unity and minimizing differences. And Sarita Nomula, she says that I think united we stand and divided we fall in an organization. It is a truth, madam. It is not a thought. It is really true. And Suresh Verma adds that unity gives a synergetic effect, hence improves productivity, and purpose will be reached easily. And Dr. Lokesh Kumar Joshi adds, even the weak become strong when they are united, like the examples given by Deepa Narayanan, like a herd of cows is similar on to this line, these lines. Any other opinion? Okay. Now I would like to end the discussion here. The very fruitful opinions came from the participants like Dr. Sheetal, Jaita Shah and Deepa Narayanan and Dr. Lokesh Kumar and Suresh Verma sir and Sarita Nomula and Vijay Kishore, Dr. Mamata Thakur, and all have given that unity is very much essential for good performance and to working towards our goal. So every organization will have vision, and all the stakeholders of the organization should be united, and they should have a common objective, that is working towards achieving the vision of the institution. It is the responsibility of the leaders at different levels to ensure that all the people are united. So for that, proper teamwork and leadership skills, it is essential for us to acquire. So with this remarks, I conclude this particular session. Now I would like to invite session coordinator, Mrs. Ashna Joseph, who is currently serving as an assistant professor in Mar Athanasius College of Engineering, Kerala, with almost 7 years of teaching experience. She is also an alumna of IIT Roorkee. And good morning, madam. I hand over the session to you.
Thank you, Dr. Shambhu Prasad. Good morning once again. As we all know, we are in day 4 of FTE on academic leadership and management of technical education. I am really honored to introduce the resource person, Dr. Rajat Agarwal, Professor, Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee. Professor Agarwal has held multiple posts in his career at IIT. Associate Dean, Innovation and Incubation, CEO of TIRA Center, and many more. Professor Agarwal has received several honors and awards. To name a few. Yes, sir. Pardon, sir?
Please continue, madam. Your voice is clear. Please continue.
Professor Agarwal has received several honors and awards. To name a few, SOL Research Award, Best Professor in General Management, nominated Senate membership at IIT Roorkee, Noel Dear Gold Medal for Best Paper in 71st Annual Convention, and one more Noel Dear Gold Medal Award for in the year 2013-14. Certificate of Excellence for World Humanitarian Summit Rio Program, instituted by World Humanitarian Summit Center for United Nations. So these are only a few of his achievements. Also, Professor Agarwal has supervised more than 28 PhD scholars since 2008 and has a number of research papers in national and international journals. Professor Agarwal has also served as a principal investigator for several funded projects, including the ones by ICMR New Delhi and THDZ India Limited. Professor Agarwal is also a proud member of Academy of Management, IIT Roorkee, and life member of All India Management Association. He has delivered a number of special lectures in India and abroad. It is with immense pleasure I would add that Professor Agarwal has worked as senior lecturer in Gurukula Kenkri Vishwavidyalaya, the host institution, prior to joining IIT Roorkee. Now, may I have the felicity of calling upon Professor Rajat Agarwal to take over the session on industry engagement, collaboration, and development. Over to you, Professor.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Joseph, for these kind words. And good morning, all the presenters, all the resource persons, the session coordinator, chairperson of the day, and participants across the country attending this FDP. I'm really thrilled the way the session is happening, that you have chanting of Vedic mantras, you have some food for thought in the morning where you are discussing that how unity helps in leadership, and good to see that participants are coming with their views on unity in leadership, how unity is required to progress the organization. But sometimes we may misunderstood the concept of unity, because we all are in academic system. So in academic system, churning of thoughts is equally important. So if we all agree with the leader and there is no diversion, probably we may not be able to excel in our academic journey. So we also need to understand that giving different perspective to a situation is equally important. And therefore, we should have unity in the objective to be achieved. But for that purpose, we also need to understand that discussions, agreement, disagreement, these are the continuous process in an academic system. Because many of us feel that unity means we should not give any new thought. If a vice chancellor is saying something, if my HOD is saying something, we should simply accept that. That is the meaning of unity. So I just want to caution our young colleagues that we always expect new thoughts from our young colleagues, and those thoughts will take our institutions to a greater height. So unity is required for excellence. Unity is required to achieve new heights, but at the same time, we also need to have something new in our system. And therefore, it is important that how are you creating that atmosphere for a leader. It is very important that a leader should give a good environment where everybody can speak his or her thoughts, can put forward their views. Maybe because like now, I just can quote one example. We at IIT Roorkee were discussing about how to complete our current academic session. And there were multiple views on that aspect. There were few professors who were of the view that we should conduct end-term examinations by any means. Maybe we can delay by 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, but we must conduct the end-term examinations, end semester examinations. There were professors who were saying that since the condition is not so conducive, So we should not conduct the end-term examinations. Rather, we should evaluate our students on the basis of their semester-long performance. So different views were there. Both views were having some kind of merit, and so it went a very well discussion. And then finally we reached to some conclusion that how to complete our current semester. So in an academic system, it is very important that whether you are giving those opportunities to your people where they can come up with some kind of innovations, and innovations should not be considered as a kind of some kind of diversion in this unity, and these are more welcome things in our system. But sometime our young fellows, young friends, they are feeling that this may be considered as a kind of a dissent in a meeting if we are coming with something new, something you can say which is not conventionally followed in the organization. So in that case, we may not be able to bring new things to the system, and unity is required as far as implementation is concerned. So when you are implementing some decision, then unity is very much required. But as long as you are planning, you are in a brainstorming session, you are in the discussion mode, I may not be of very, you can say, a strong follower of this unity concept in that literal sense. I may like more kind of diversification, more views, more perspectives, and that will take the institutions to the greater heights. So that is just to continue the discussion which Dr. Prasad was starting. And now coming to our topic of the day, that is about industry engagement, and how industry engagement is important, and why should we go for industry engagement, and then why our institutions in India particularly, I hope all the participants are only from India or maybe from SAARC countries. So in that consideration, I find that in our country particularly, we are not so active with industry engagement. So how the industry engagement can be enhanced, and how you can be the champion of those industry engagement activities. So that will be the process, that will be the total content of this particular session. And it will be really good because you are more than 100 in this particular session. So if we keep this session in more interactive manner, that will help all of you to take more out of this session. So why we need to have industry engagement, and as part of the requirement of this particular FDP, there was a pre-session exercise. So in that I gave 2-3 questions, and yesterday I received the response of those questions. So around 60 plus responses were there in that Excel sheet, and I saw that most of you mentioned that you are having industry engagement for the purpose of placements, training, etc. Then few of you mentioned about some guest lectures, the industry visits, etc., seminars. So these were the other purpose of, so if I say that 60% to 70% were in the range of placement activities, then 20% around some kind of seminar, guest lectures, etc., industrial visits, and in remaining 10%, you can put some other activities also. So largely, our perception of industry engagement is with respect to placement and training activities. That is the purpose. Now, here we are not making a right choice, I will like to say, because we do not have much time. Already 40 minutes are over of this session. So we have just, you can say, 30-40 minutes left for this particular session. So let me come straight to the point. So as an academic institution, most of you are involved in teaching activities. If you are from a college, so most of you are involved in the teaching activities. And those who are from some kind of university setup or some other kind of places of excellence, so you may also be having these two activities. So primarily, our bread and butter for an educational institution is teaching. That is our basic duty. And training and research may be the supplementary activities, because all institutions may not have enough infrastructure for training and research activities. But now institutions have developed a good infrastructure. Maybe in private sector also, a lot of good institutions are coming where facilities for training and research are also inbuilt. So that is also, you can say, are available in most of the institutions. But this outreach activities, which is a latest addition to the responsibilities of academic institution, that is really not picking up. Many institutions, they do not have the right idea what is the meaning of outreach, and therefore the institutions are not able to excel in their outreach activities. And let me tell you that when we talk of international rankings, when we talk of excellence in academic institutions, outreach activities play a very important role, very important role rather, in our journey of excellence. For an example, there are two very popular rankings globally which are accepted. One is QS ranking and another is THE ranking, Times Higher Education. And in both these rankings, there is a significant component of perception. In QS, it is about 40% component which is of perception. And that perception can only be built when you have a strong outreach activities. So it is important that you develop a strong outreach section in your academic institutions. You must have seen in various English newspapers, in Hindi newspapers also, that on the last page of those newspapers, some important researches in Western universities are published, that as per the research done in MIT, they have found the effect of coronavirus on XYZ. Some other university may also publish. So you are getting the inputs from those foreign universities research in India. That is the outreach activities. And automatically, it will improve the perception of those universities that these universities are really the strong place of research. And therefore, we always regard Western universities to a very high level of excellence. Our Indian universities are really not able to exploit the power of outreach, and therefore even the best of the institutions from India, maybe it is any IIT, maybe it is IIC, are not able to come in top 100 of these world rankings because of our lack of outreach activities. So therefore, in the current scenario, those who are in habit of publications, like Ashna Joseph, she did her studies from Roorkee. So she may be knowing that we publish so many research papers every year. So like if I say about IIT Roorkee, every year we are publishing somewhere around 1600 research papers which are SCI indexed. There may be more than 2500 research papers which are published every year from IIT Roorkee, but out of them around 1600 are in SCI indexed journals. Now, so much of research is being produced from Roorkee only. Then you can think of IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, IC Bangalore, these institutions. So how many research papers are published? If I talk of only my field, that I am from operations management, there are hundreds of journals which are very good journals. Even if I talk of A star, A ranking or Q1 ranking journals, they are also in 50s, and therefore it is not possible, humanly it is not possible for me to read all those journals that what good research is being published in these journals. So how will you track? Because Dr. Jain in the morning was saying that we need to continuously keep ourselves upgraded. Every time we need to learn, but how to learn, how to identify that so much of material is available, then how will you ensure that which particular book is to be read, which particular research paper is to be read? Newspaper, so much of news is there, so many business newspapers are there. Which newspaper to read, which particular magazine to read? You have limited time. So therefore, we must strategically plan our activities with respect to outreach so that we can have more productivity from our limited resources. And therefore, we need to see that how industry engagement can help us in achieving the objective of outreach activities. Now, as I saw your survey, most of you mentioned about placements as a major reason for industry engagement. I particularly feel that you can put this placement to the last point. It can be the natural outcome of your industry engagement. The most important thing is solving the most recent problems which industry may face, and therefore research funding is one very important aspect of industry engagement. We want to do those cutting edge problems, but we do not have enough support from our system, and therefore research funding is one very important reason for which we want the industry engagement. We also need live projects for our students. Not only for our students, we need live projects for ourselves also. We need to continuously upgrade ourselves. So if I am writing a book and I do not know what are the latest advancements which are available in the industry, so I may not be able to make a very good book. So therefore, live projects are requirement of our students, live projects are requirement of mine also. And for that also, the source of live project is industry. So industry engagement is very much needed for the live projects. I already mentioned about perception. Like perception is a very important phenomena in these rankings, QS, THE. In fact, perception is also important factor in our NIRF, the Indian ranking framework. In that also, you have a very important role of perception. And I don't know how many of you know that in NIRF, 20% weightage is for the perception. So if you have a good industry engagement, it will certainly help you in improving your NIRF rank also. So perception, because is not in your hand, it can only be improved with your active industry engagements, with your vibrant alumni, with your recognition in your peer group. So peer group, alumni, and industry, these are the three important stakeholders for perception data collection. So obviously industry engagement plays a very important role in perception improvement of any institution. If at IIT or maybe at Gurukul Kavadi University or maybe at any other place, if we have a industry sponsored lab, so obviously you will like to highlight that particular achievement always at the top of your website, always at the front page of your brochure, etc. That IBM has established a lab at my campus. Siemens has established a lab at my campus. So perception improvement is means industry engagement, you can say, is a catalyst for perception improvement. Resource generation, I just mentioned about the labs, etc. So for an example, let me tell you that few months back at IIT Roorkee, we got a proposal from one of the very large electrical equipment manufacturer. I will not like to take the name because of confidentiality and because of obvious reasons. They came to us that we want to establish a lab in your campus, fully funded by the organization. Means IIT was not required to spend even a single penny for that lab. So we evaluated the proposal. Finally, we realized that this proposal is not adding any value to IIT Roorkee, and we politely refused that proposal. So that is the kind of requirement which industry also has, that it is not our requirement to have industry engagement. Rather, industry also wants to have academic engagement. So that I'm going to discuss in the next slide. But what I'm trying to say, that if we would have accepted that proposal, it has created some kind of a resource. Right now, again, I am in discussion with another very major software giant, and they are the pioneers in Industry 4.0. And they again came with a proposal to establish their state-of-art facility at our campus, again fully funded by them. So that we are yet to take a call on that, and I have already done 2-3 meetings with them. So if we accept that proposal, it is certainly going to create a very state-of-the-art resource at our campus, where we will be having a lot of you can say machines of Industry 4.0. We may even help nearby industries also. If they want to develop some product, they can come to our facilities and we can help them. So resource generation is also very much possible. Those who are already in some kind of leadership position in academic institutions. So we know that day by day, grants are reducing for developing the infrastructure. So you need to develop your own resources, and industry engagement can provide a good source of resource. And I can also mention, like there was a scheme of Government of India, Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana. I don't know how many of you are aware of this Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana. In this Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana also, government was of this proposal that we took some research funding where 75% came from Government of India and 25% came from industry partner. And after that project was completed, whatever intellectual property was generated, it was given without any additional fee to this industry partner. But for us, the facilities which were developed for that project, that became a permanent asset for IIT. So that is also an added benefit of industry engagement. Curriculum development, what industry requires, that is the most important thing. And if your curriculum is with the latest requirements, then automatically placement will take place. There is no doubt that industry also looks those students, those employees who are ready to use. So they do not want to spend money on trading. So if your curriculum is as per the latest industry requirements, it is certainly going to help in placement activities, and therefore your industry engagement will help you in your curriculum development. You should take inputs whenever you in different places there may be different names, like at our place we call it academic program committee. In some other universities it is known as BOS, Board of Studies. In some places it may be academic council. So there may be different terminologies which are responsible for what is to be taught. So in those bodies, therefore necessarily you should have one or two industry representatives. And what we do generally for industry representatives, we take some of our alumni as industry representatives, because your students, they are also working in industry, and therefore they qualify to become the industry representatives. But again, the problem comes because they were your students, they may not be able to speak freely about your curriculum, and therefore I feel that independent means those who were not part of your system before that and can give a free and frank opinion about the curriculum, they should be invited for the curriculum development. In addition to those industry representatives, you may have one or two alumni also in your BOS. That is perfectly okay, but don't use the shortcut of using these alumni as industry representative. So all these are the reasons for which industry engagement is important for any academic institution. Now, as I already emphasized, that it is a two-way process, and actually the perception is that industry feels that education institutions are simply a liability. That is the hard fact, that many industries feel that they are only coming to request for placements. They are coming to request for some sponsorship whenever a conference is going to happen in their institution. So they come for some kind of sponsorship. So they consider us in a very low esteem, and therefore we are not able to develop a successful industry engagement model in our country, because only one party feels value, only the academic institution is feeling value, and that value is with respect to our placement profile, that we are able to show these many industries, these many companies coming to us for our placement. So that is the only value we are seeing, and therefore industry is hesitant to join hands with our academic setup. So therefore it is important that we should be able to highlight our value to them, that what else we can help them, what else we can provide them, so that it has to be a partnership of two equals. If in a partnership two equals are not there, then that partnership will not be a sustainable partnership. So in this engagement exercise, it is important that we should create value for both the parties. And therefore, what type of value industry can see in this engagement? What type of value industry can see in this engagement? One is trained manpower. Obviously, you are teaching the latest curriculum which is required by the industry. So trained manpower is the most important benefit. They may not be required to spend extra time, extra resources in training the manpower. You can recall the days when a new engineer was hired, a new manager, MBA graduate is hired, and initially they used to get the designation like GET, graduate engineer trainee, or MT, that is management trainee. But nowadays, those things are the things of past. We want immediate output. If I am joining a company, the company will expect that immediately after joining, you should start producing the output. So industry is in very much requirement of trained manpower. Then industry has a lot of other problems. Other problems means like how to compete in the market, how to improve the valuation, how to satisfy the customer. So all those are the industry problems. But there are a large number of research problems also. A large number of research problems also. And many organizations do not have that kind of setup where they can solve their own research problems. So if you position yourself, if an academic institution position itself that we can solve some of the most advanced industry problems, then industry is behind you. They will be behind you that, okay, come to us, we are ready to fund you, and please solve these problems for us. So that is another value which industry sees in this particular engagement. But for that, we need to prepare ourselves that we can showcase this value. Maybe with our earlier publications, maybe with our earlier profile, we can build our case that we can solve some of your most difficult problems. Then industry can use academic institutions for promotion of their technology. So like I was mentioning about that company of electrical equipments and coming to Roorkee for having a lab developed by them. So it was basically the idea of promotion of technology by them, that whatever technologies they have developed, they can put all those technologies in our lab, so that if a student who has worked his BTech project, his PhD thesis on those technologies, so automatically when he or she will go to industry, he will like to work on the similar kind of technology. So that is the promotion of technology, because the institutions can be a very good source of promotion of technology. If in your lab some type of hardwares are available, so if you go to industry, you will feel more comfortable on similar kind of hardware. So many good companies, they are engaging with the academic institutions to train the students of those institutions on their technology, so that when they go to industry, they demand the same technology and it will be easy for industry to adopt their technology. So promotion of technology is a very important aspect which industry want to have in this kind of engagement. And obviously, when industry is involved with academic institutions, so the development of new knowledge is a regular phenomenon. So it is a two-way process. What industry is doing, that comes to academic institutions. What Toyota company did to revamp its manufacturing excellence, that became a system of manufacturing. We call it Toyota Production System. And over a period of time, all academic institutions started teaching Toyota Production System. So that is how the knowledge which is generated in the industry becomes the formal education in an academic setup. So that is the also a value that if you want to do knowledge management of the knowledge which you have generated, you will like to have a partner who can properly store and disseminate that knowledge so that it becomes a sustained activity in the system. So these are the important values which industry see in this engagement. Now, in how many common ways industry engagement is possible in an academic institution? So now you see, I have put placements and training in the last of this particular list. I understand most of you are faculty members in different colleges across the country. So for us, if I say a very attractive point can be the chair professorship. It adds a lot of value to our profile. If I am a chair professor, it makes a lot of value to me. I feel honored that I got a chair professorship in year 2016. It was offered to me by ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and I got this chair professorship at Indonesia for 1 full year. And right now also from Ministry of Commerce, Department of Promotion of Trade, I am again IPR chair professor at IIT Roorkee. So these are the government chairs, but we also have many chairs which are industry sponsored. So these chairs become the nodal point of industry engagement. Like we have one chair which is by NIPPO. So they work in the water resources. So they have sponsored a chair in our water resource development and management department. So in that, a faculty member is holding that chair. We have one chair which is sponsored by NHPC. We have one chair which is sponsored by Indian Railways. So these are the chairs which are acting as a nodal point to connect the entire institution with that industry. And if industry has any specific problem, they will come to this chair, and the chair will disseminate that information to the entire campus community. So chair professorship is a very proven model across the globe, and therefore it is a very common way of engagement. Institution to institution, you may have a different policy that how are you going to allocate a chair professorship. Like some institution may demand 1.5 CR, 2 CR, 3 CR for having a chair professorship. On the other hand, there may be some institutions which can award the chair professorship only in 20-30 lakhs also. So institutions to institutions, there may be policies for chair professorship. Then specific lab development. We have a department like hydro and renewable energy. So we have a good number of labs which are developed by industry. Those companies which are involved in a small hydropower, they have developed those labs. You may be knowing that in different institutions, there may be IBM lab, in some places Infosys lab, and other type of labs are also available, maybe related to nuclear science, maybe related to chemical engineering, maybe related to nanomaterials, etc. So specific lab development is also possible with the help of industry engagement. Obviously, industry sponsored projects, that is again a very common proven way of industry engagement, and I think it is possible for all of you to write projects for your local industry, where you can see that what are their requirements, and accordingly you can write projects which can be sponsored by local industry. Then in many industries, many companies, there are R&D activities, and those R&D activities can help you in filing the bigger joint projects. You want a project of, let's say, 10 CR, 20 CR. So the funding agency may not be comfortable for funding that particular of magnitude of the project. So you require some partners. So industry can also be a very important partner. I had a presentation few days back from Department of Biotechnology, where they invited proposals for establishing bioresource complex in aspirational districts of India. So in that also, they were expecting that the magnitude of the project was very large, that we should have some industry partner who can help us to finally implement that particular project. So joint projects can also be filed. The example of Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana, which I mentioned earlier also, is coming under this category of joint projects. Technology transfer, the very, very important area these days. I know that in most of the institutions, now we are becoming IP savvy. We want to develop intellectual property, and not only we want to develop intellectual property, we are also in the process of protecting those intellectual property, and after protecting, we want to commercialize those IP also, and therefore you need to transfer those technologies. And like many of you may be knowing that during first wave of this pandemic, at IIT Roorkee we developed a ventilator which has a closed loop system, and it was a very low cost ventilator which can be built in less than 50,000 rupees. So we got patent also on that. Today, at the same time, when I am doing this lecture, my office is having a meeting with one of the possible industry partner who is interested in taking that technology so that it can easily commercialize. They want to manufacture that ventilator. So technology transfer is also a very good way to engage the industry. And once you establish your name that yes, we are developing those technologies which are suitable for industry, which industry can adopt, then certainly the research funding from industry also becomes possible. And then automatically your name and fame will be multiplied into many, many folds. So technology transfer is something where I think all of you must focus if you are in the business of IP and IP commercialization. Live projects, already we have discussed that live projects will be possible when you are involved with the industry, and the only thing is that just for engaging for the purpose of live projects may not be a very suitable idea. The reason is industry many times do not find any value in that, and therefore it is considered to be an wastage of their efforts, and industry may avoid giving any kind of research problem to you or any type of you can say exposure to industry. We know that there was a time when summer training, vocational training, whatever you say, was very much encouraged by the industry. But nowadays, industry does not find value in that. On the other hand, we also have a scenario like at IIT, we also do summer training after third year for our students. And with our sustained efforts, now every year we are sending somewhere around 900 students for the summer training. And initially it was less than 10, but now it is more than 100 students who get PPO, pre-placement offer, in their summer trainings. So you have to create that kind of value in live projects, in your training activities, so that industry feels, if let's say Uber or Adobe, let me tell the example of Adobe. So Adobe is a regular recruiter at our campus, and Adobe is also giving summer training to our students. Now what is happening, Adobe gives around 10 students PPOs. So their efforts to come for the selection of students is also eliminated, because already they have fulfilled their requirement through PPOs. So why will they come to have interview of another 100 students? So this PPO is kind of a value you are adding into your live projects in your training activities. Visiting professorship, that is another very good example of industry engagement. You can invite industry professionals to the position of joint faculty, adjunct faculty, professor of practice, or visiting professor. Different institutions may have their own nomenclature, but these are some of the common nomenclatures which are available, and you can invite those faculty members, those professionals from the industry for a 3-month assignment, 4-month assignment to your college, and that will add a lot of value to your profile. So that is also a very important thing. So chair professorship, you are expecting money from them, where they will sponsor a chair. But visiting professorship, you are giving value to them, that some of their R&D professor, R&D manager may come to your university for 3 months on a visiting assignment and may be involved in your lab, and with his presence your lab will be developed to a much higher standard. So that is another way to engage with the industry, that you can target at least 2-3 visiting professorships from industry every year. Then another very popular ways which are happening these days in many institutions, these are related to accelerators, incubators, and research park. Research park in our country started from IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, now IIT Roorkee is in the process of developing a research park. IIT Hyderabad has also developed a good research park. So research park is one good industry engagement place where you can have a huge setup of research facility, where industry can come and can utilize your facilities for new product development, for new technology development, etc. Maybe some of that is funded by industry, maybe part of that expenses you can bear from your institute side. Accelerators and incubators, because we are continuously focusing on outreach activities. So we need to support this startup culture in our country. And for that purpose, accelerators and incubators are also a good way where you can provide some kind of seed funding, you can provide mentorship to those ideas, and certainly we require mentors, not the academic mentors, we require mentors from the industry. So in all accelerators and incubators, you will see a pool of mentors from top organizations. So the success of accelerator and incubator depends that how deep industry engagement you have. So, and I'm not exaggerating, you will find people who have established unicorns. You will find people who are CEOs, CIOs, CFOs, CTOs to be part of your mentorship pool. So if you have accelerators and incubators, try to use that platform for industry engagement, because that is something very easy to do. And last is the placement and training. So your placement and training is obviously the most common way of industry engagement. And here also, to provide value to the industry, you need to understand that you need to provide that kind of manpower to the industry, which is really useful to them. And you have that critical mass also, where they will like to come for interview activities. If you have a very small batch of 20 people, 30 people, industry may not like to come. And that is the reason, let me be very clear on this. In our system, we have UG program, BTech, and we have MTech programs also. So our intake for UG courses are around 100 in each discipline, around 100, maybe some plus minus, but you can say on an average 100 per branch. Now there is a good size of the batch, and each company may pick according to their requirement. On the other side, in our MTech courses, the size of the batch is just 15 to 20 students. In most of the courses, it is 15 only. So the batch size is very small. And in that 15 also, there may be few who may be interested in PhD and other kind of maybe civil services, etc. And they may not appear for the placements. So finally, for a company, only 10 students are available for job. So industry may not be interested to use those available resources just for interviewing 10 candidates. So you need to have a critical mass also for industry engagement in placement activities. If that critical mass is not there, industry may not be very interested. And therefore you see in our private institutions, many a time you have this concept of pool system of placement activities, because in that pool system you have combined 4 or 5 colleges, and then you are able to use your resources in a more productive manner, that in a single go you are able to find 300, 400 prospective candidates, and then you can select best 10 out of that lot of 400. So if you have a bigger choice set, it is more attractive for industry to get engaged with you. I almost coming to end of our discussion, and here I will like to say that I also asked you that who is the responsible person for industry engagement in your institution. Like I can show you some of the pictures taken from different IITs. Like this is my IIT Roorkee, and here we have a separate dedicated position for corporate interaction, Associate Dean Corporate Interaction, and this is nothing to do with the placement activities. We have a separate placement and training professor in charge, but to give a special emphasis on industry engagement, we have created a position who is only responsible for industry engagement. So then only the proper industry requirements can be understood, and we can also project the you can say our strength to the industry. In this regard, I will also like to mention that these days Office of Principal Scientific Advisor of Prime Minister of India is also very active. Office of PSA is very active these days for industry engagement of our educational institutions. So if you go to PSA website, you can find a lot of opportunities for yourself, for your institution to get involved with industry activities. So our this Office of Associate Dean Corporate Interaction is actively involved with the Office of PSA. So like at IIT Roorkee, we have this setup. Similarly, if you go to IIT Madras, you see there at the home page itself, there is a tab which is industry. And when you open this tab, this type of page appears where you can see that what are the opportunities for industry and what is happening there at IIT Madras. So industry will also get a focused information about their involvement at these institutions. If you go to IIT Bombay, there also at the home page itself, they have this information for industry kind of link, and here also what all initiatives. So here also you see at the top they have this IITB Research Park, then sign is their entrepreneurship activities, and then there are various other initiatives which are possible. And here also you see placements are at a very lower level in this list for information for industry. So you see that all these are some of the you can say prominent institutions in our country, and this is about IIT Delhi. So IIT Delhi is also having the similar kind of profile which IIT Roorkee has. They also have a profile known as corporate relations. So in that corporate relation profile also you will see these type of links which industry can directly use, because they don't have that much of time to navigate through your website. So you need to have all relevant information for industry in your particular website. And these days I think it is much easier to bring people to your website. You can use social media, and by highlighting your research, your activities at social media, you can attract industry to your website. And at website, it must be a dedicated, you can say, link which industry can use for knowing more about you. It is also important to understand that when we are talking of industry engagement, our communication is very important. If we are talking in a very generic manner, the industry engagement will not take place. So you have to be very specific for industry engagement. If I write a letter to, let's say, Hero Motocorp, and in that I write, "Dear Sir," if I am addressing that letter to, let's say, Mr. Munjal. So if I write "Dear Sir" and XYZ, whatever is the content, you feel that there may not be any reply of that email. I am quite sure there may not be any reply from that mail. You will only get the reply when you specifically write, "Dear Shri Munjalji" or "Dear Mr. Munjal," and then you write. So then it appears that you are writing specific to that particular person. It's not a generic mail that you have written to hundreds of industry champions and he is one of them. So you need to understand that communication aspect also. And if you have a good communication in industry engagement, you can certainly develop quite fulfilling industry engagement. And as now, I think our time is almost over 11:30. So let me stop here. And if you have some questions, so we can go with those questions. And maybe if you have something in the chat box, let me just go to the chat box. So Dr. Joseph is asking participants to.
Sir, we are left with 30 more minutes. Sir, if you have something to add more.
Okay, okay. I was knowing that the session will end at 11:30. Therefore, I'm keeping some time for Q&A.
Yes, sir. I thought when the session is in progress, we could collect some Q&A from the chat box. So it doesn't matter, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Can I speak? This is Dr. Rashmi Trivedi from Nagpur.
Yes, please, ma'am.
Yeah, sir, I belong to pharmacy domain, and I'm glad to share that we are like NAC A grade college, but we are a private institution, and we have some campus connect with pharma companies. Because Lupin, when you talk about Lupin, they have their own strategy to have a campus connect with one of the leading college in the city. So because we are doing well, so they had tie-up with us in 2014. But sir, I just want to ask you, like, because we are a private college, as you have told that so many, there are so many ways of collaborating with the industry. But as you know, when I talk about my college or the people who are studying in NIPER, which are the A grade colleges in India, they get more packages, and obviously the leading companies, they go for recruitment at those campuses. So what the colleges, like our colleges, should how should we approach? Because I'm training in placement officer also at my college. So I'm concerned about this. Though we are doing very well nowadays because of all this vaccine and everything, life sciences are doing very well, and TCS and other pharmacovigilance companies, they are themselves coming to us and asking us for students. But can you suggest how we can do, like, because we are not amongst IITs and all those colleges, it's the things are difficult or different for the small colleges. So what would you suggest, sir?
Okay. So Dr. Trivedi has raised a very pertinent point that for a private institution, and which is a fairly good college with good NAC accreditation and doing good in terms of other collaborative activities, but still the problem of parity of packages, the kind of opportunities, etc., are available to them. So yes, this is a problem, I understand. And again, the point which I started in the beginning is perception. So as perception is a very important factor in many of our output. If you have a good perception, you will have good students joining you, you will have good faculty members joining you, and you will see the kind of profile your students are getting, that will also improve. So there is no yes or no kind of answer to Dr. Trivedi's question. But the most important thing is how can we improve this perception of our college? And in that perception building, if this tag of private college is a kind of a hindrance, because I think that you emphasized, so I will like to say that we should try to minimize the kind of management we have, so that you leave it to people to guess about yourself, that whether you are a private college or a state government college or a college of some other
भाई इसे रेडे में
इंगे से साईं बाबा से तो एक कट्टे कोर्सेंट लेगा ना, ठीक है, कोर्सेंट और
Sorry, I could not follow the question now. What is this?
Sir, maybe that is by mistake.
Okay,
Please
okay.
continue, sir.
Yeah. So it is important that how do we change our perception, and therefore it may be a question from Dr. Rasmi, but I think the similar question may be from many of you, that you may be working in a private institution, and at the same time you have good students, good facilities and other things, but since you are branded as a private institution, and it's a quite you can say a disturbing fact for most of us, that when our child is in primary education, maybe in the secondary education, we want our child to go into a private institution, but when child is coming to higher education, we want our child to go for a government institution. So here the complete change of story from +2 to graduation level, and therefore I see that we need to remove this kind of disparity from our system, and a quick solution for that is that you should not highlight the kind of governing system you have, and many time it may be not so desirable to your means owners, because sometimes we want that our name should come at the top, and therefore as soon as you see that okay, it is from a private sector, people will not go to any other thing. They will simply say, okay, we will consider this in the second stage. First, let us go to the government system for placement and all these things. So downplay your governance system. That is one simple advice which is maybe of use. The second advice can be of using the media very effectively to improve your perception. So because we actually contact industry only at the time of placement and training requirements, so industry feel that oh, they have come again for placement request, so that puts us in slightly lower bargaining power. So you need to contact industry, you need to continuously in touch with industry, even if you don't have placement requirements, so that you are able to develop that kind of sustained relations with the industry, not only for the placement purpose. So that will, as I'm saying that a good partnership, a good sustained industry engagement is only possible when two teams are at the level playing field. Then when both teams can offer something of value to each other. So if an educational institution is only approaching for the placements, you will always have this type of problem. As I have just mentioned, at Roorkee, we have a separate placement section and a separate corporate relations section. And the corporate relations section has nothing to do with the placement activities. It is nothing to do with the placements at all. It is all about how you can engage industry for the research activities and other kind of value addition activities. So similarly, like Dr. Rashmi is heading the placement activities in the college, a separate person can be developed in the setup who is a professor in charge of corporate relation, and that profile will help you to develop the long-term relations with the industry, and that profile should never talk of these placement activities. That profile should only talk of some type of active industry engagement. So then you can see over a period of time, automatically your industry recruitment, the profile your students are getting, the packages your students are getting, that will slowly and slowly start improving. Like I can just give you an example. about last week of March at our campus, we opened a new innovation hub. It is known as TIH, Technology Innovation Hub, which is all about in the area of Industry 4.0. And we got a very good handsome grant from Government of India for that. It is more than 100 CR. And for that, we were requiring a good CEO to handle that particular activity. And we gave the advertisement, we got good applications. Now, to select a CEO is not the cup of academicians. So we requested 2-3 CEOs who are coming to our placement activities. And let me tell you the name of those CEOs. Like we requested the CEO of Nissan Motors in India, that you please be the member of our selection committee. He happily accepted it. Now, it is the respect and value we are offering to Nissan. And with that, we automatically get the popularity that we have a profile of technology innovation at IIT Roorkee. And when my placement professor will talk to Nishan that when are you coming for placement to Roorkee, so automatically everything will fall in place and we need not to do any extra efforts. So if we only go for the placements, maybe we will not be, we will be at a receiving end. But now we are not at a receiving end. We are also giving respect to them. We are also giving value to them. And that's how things go in an academic institution when you can expect higher packages for your students.
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. And I would like to connect to you if you have some, like, because I think you can provide me a lot of ideas. So definitely I will be in touch with you so that I can understand it properly. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for the wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Sir, I want to know about the PSA. You are talking about PSA, no? Just
yeah.
PSA. Yeah. Why exactly what it is, I didn't know.
Yeah, PSA stands for Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister of India. PSA stands for Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister of India. It's a dedicated office for all scientific advancements happening in India and how to put those scientific advancements for the development of our country. So it is a platform where they are connecting educational institutions, research institutions with industry. So some technology, some research you have done in your college, now you may not be in a position to find a suitable industry partner to take that research to the market. So this PSA office can help you where you can get the industry involved into your activities. You want to develop a lab in your college and you do not have enough funds for that, and you also understand that industry may take the benefit of this lab, and now under our CSR provisions the fundings for research and development activity is also the part of CSR activities. You can go to PSA and can put your proposal on the website of PSA, and then there are large number of industries which are in PSA profile also. So they will see your proposal and interested partners may directly approach you. So PSA is a very handy, you can say, platform which can help all of you to get a good industry connect.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Then Shreyan Kumar Vishwas is having a question: how to motivate students to open startups? So motivating students to open a startup require 2-3 basic elements. One element is the kind of infrastructure you have. So you need to create a basic infrastructure which can motivate students to apply for a startup. Now, what is that infrastructure? It is not some building or something like that which is more important, because these days startups do not require physical infrastructure. These days startups require two important things. One is mentorship and the second is seed funding. So how can you create a pool of good mentors for your college, for your incubator, for your accelerator? And second is, do you have any provision of seed funding? Maybe initially for let's say 2 years, 3 years, you can create every year a provision of, let's say, 20 lakh from your college only, that I can give a seed funding of 3 to 4 lakhs to the eligible startups, and every year you can fund 4 or 5 startups from your college money, and you will see in just 4 or 5 years that it can work like a miracle, because students have some kind of a good idea, but they do not have money to take that idea further. And if college can provide that support, it is brilliant. And mentorship, these two things, if you can develop in your setup, students will be motivated. And then the second trigger point in the motivation journey will come when some success stories will be there, when some good startup will graduate from your college. Then if that startup is coming in news, if this startup is able to generate series 1, series 2, series 3 fundings, then automatically you will see that many companies, many startups are there in queue in front of your office, asking for funds, asking for mentorship, and then the quality of a startup will also start improving. Initially, quality may be a question. So initially you have to build the culture of a startup in your college, but once that culture is developed, then automatically quality will also improve. So that is the slightly a long process, maybe requiring 5 to 6 years, when you may start seeing some little bit of fruits. But it is really picking up the time, and it is very important for our new generation to understand the importance of startups. And I feel that there cannot be a better time than the available time, where you can use all positive things to improve the startup culture in your college. So if you have a transparent policy that how are you going to support the startups, it is the first important input to motivate the students. Since college does not have any policy of startup for startups, so you are unable to motivate. If you have nothing to offer, how can you motivate? If I simply give you lecture and nothing tangible out of that lecture, I cannot motivate. So I need to give something tangible, and that tangible is in terms of policy, which can explicitly mention what kind of support you are going to provide, and that is something which can motivate students. So that is Shreyan's questions answered. Then Mr. Prakash is asking.
Sir, I have one question. Sir, what is the difference between MOUs and MOAs?
This is in which context you are asking, ma'am?
Sir, actually, the college will have in industry with two types of sign up: memorandum of understanding, this MOU and MOA, but I don't know the difference in their agreement.
Okay, so I will come to that also, that what is the difference between MOU and MOA. So MOA and MOU is, as the name itself is giving the clear-cut idea, that if I am talking to you and we are reaching to a common consensus that this is how we will work together, that these will be the terms of engagement, and therefore what will be your responsibility, what is my responsibility, how the things will be operationalized. So to have those common understanding on paper, for that we sign MOU, that in an agreement, this is your responsibility, this is my responsibility. So in that case, MOU is signed. MOA, Memorandum of Association, that when two parties are creating a new entity, when we are creating a new entity, so how that entity is going to function. So in that case, MOA comes into the picture. So like if you are having a incubator, if you are having a incubator, so in that case MOA will come, that will give you the entire rules, regulations of working of incubator. But now for working of that incubator, I want a partnership with TCS, that TCS will help us in running the incubator. So I will sign MOU with TCS. So that is the difference between MOU and MOA, that between two parties, when there is some understanding to work for a common cause, MOU come into the picture. And when we are making a new entity, and in that case, I want some kind of registration at the Society of Registrar of Societies, Registrar of Trust, or I need to register it as a company, then MOA comes into the picture.
Then there is no monetary association won't happen in MOA.
Pardon?
Funding won't happen in
funding
MOA.
can be done with MOU also. Funding can be done because you see, MOA, as I'm saying, that if two parties are coming together and they are forming a new entity, and how that entity will work, in that case MOA will come into the picture. MOU is just a agreement for some limited period, that how we are going to work on a project together. Then in that case MOU will come into the picture. So MOU may also involve the financial aspects. Let's say IIT Roorkee has signed MOUs with so many other these organizations, like we have MOUs with BHEL, we have MOU with ONGC, we have MOU with NTPC. I was mentioning about chair professorships. So all those chair professorships are part of MOU. So that for a chair professorship, we do MOU with the respective industry partner, and in that we certainly outline that how much fund industry will give, and what will be the responsibility of IIT Roorkee for utilizing those, what will be the boundary conditions for use of that fund. So all those things are mentioned in MOU. So it is for limited purpose. MOU is always for a limited purpose, for some specific requirement.
Sir, MOUs are clear, sir. MOA is still not clear, because
Yeah.
maybe with
So
statutory bodies.
MOA, like where are you working?
I am working in RV College of Engineering, Bangalore.
Which college?
RV College of Engineering, Bangalore.
RV College. Is it a government or private?
Sir, private, sir.
Yeah, private. So it is running through a society or a trust?
Trust, sir.
Trust. So when the trust got registered, at this Office of Registrar of Trust, so they have to make a MOA, and MOA is to be submitted to the Office of Registrar of Trust, that we are some kind of 6-7 people coming together for developing a trust, and the objective of the trust will be like these XYZ, and what will be the place of work, whether it is local Karnataka, whether it is pan India, and other things are mentioned in that memorandum of association, and that is submitted to some kind of other office, and that is the purpose to run a new entity. So in case of MOA, a new entity is taking birth, and how that new entity is going to be governed, be running, that complete constitution of that new entity is mentioned in MOA, not in MOU. MOU is just a operational agreement. MOU is just an operational agreement, while and therefore if you go to a legal aspect, MOU is generally for a limited period, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe up to 5 years also. And MOU, maybe you can do some kind of notarization of MOU, but even if you don't do notarization, it is still okay that I can do MOU with Gurukul Kangadi University, and we both agree on something that okay, we will together do these many number of FDPs in 1 year, and we will share the revenue of FDP in these ratio. So it does not require any kind of a legal you can say support on this. But MOA is a more legal document. It is a more legal document, and it has to be properly endorsed by some legal authority. So that is the kind of for running an institution.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, Mr. Prakash is asking,
so
even though there are so many ideas by virtue of the incubation centers in their college, and it is due to financial constraints, they couldn't convert. So in such a scenario, how industry can help that case of approach industries in this regard?
Yeah, so industry, it is a common issue that Mr. Prakash is asking, that you may have ideas, and I fully agree with this, that it may be a government college, private college, it may be IIT or any other institution. Students have large number of ideas. So it is our responsibility to facilitate those ideas into a so that those ideas can see light of the day. And for that purpose, I can say that if you have the issue of finances, I will still request that all private institutions have their budget of promotion and other things. So maybe 20-30 lakhs per year is not a big amount, I am saying. So first thing is college should create a budgetary head for promotion of innovative activities, and 20-30 lakh can be easily created in that head. So that is first thing. The second thing, since in our country we are not industry is not able to find much value in educational institutions, that is a hard fact. So the second source is your government system. So government system like DST, DBT, and Ministry of MSME, they all have provisions for, even MIT is also having the provision for incubators. So you can apply to these places to get funding for your incubators. And the third is the alumni support. You can also request the alumni to contribute for developing the incubation activities in your colleges. And as I mentioned, that CSR activities are also possible under this incubation system nowadays. So CSR funding, which was earlier not possible directly to the educational institutions, now CSR funding is possible for incubation and R&D activities also. So you can approach corporates under the CSR funding. That is, I think, the simplest way to attract industry for so see that which are important industries in your area, and do not target their main funding, rather try to get funding from their CSR initiatives. So since you are already a respected college in that area, so CSR funding I think is easier to get, and that you can target. Then Mr. Ramasamy is having a question. Should we include design thinking and startup related subject as compulsory in all disciplines? You see, I cannot say yes for this, because just having a subject may not fulfill the purpose. It is rather more important to develop that culture. So if you feel that keeping a compulsory subject can help you in achieving that culture, fine, go ahead. But at the same time, you need to see whether you have resources for that particular thing or not. Just keeping a subject and then you don't have resources, that will also not fulfill the idea of innovation and startups. So it is more important that how, because sometimes we come with these fancy ideas. One fine day, Supreme Court of India said that we should teach these environmental science to all the disciplines. So we really need to see whether it is contributing. Still, we are seeing the problem of environmental degradation is increasing. So just keeping a subject may not serve the purpose, but it may serve also in some cases. So I cannot say directly yes or no. You need to see your system, and in one system it can work very well, may not work so well in other system. But certainly how you can create that culture, maybe initially you can start doing workshops every semester in your college, and maybe those workshops can help you in creating that environment, that ecosystem in your institution. And if you feel that enough interest is there, then you can keep it as a subject also. Dr. Mamta ji has a question, and then Mr. Joseph has already thanked everybody.
Yes, sir. We are running out of time.
Yes.
So, sir, that question is already almost answered in the session. So, thank you all for your active participation in the discussion. And thank you, Dr. Rajat Agarwal, sir, for making all of us understand we should go beyond and industrial training when it comes to industrial collaboration. Thank you once again, Dr. Rajat Agarwal, sir. Thank you. We have so much, we have so much thanks. We feel so much honored to have you on board. Next, may I call upon Dr. Vivek Pandey, who is serving as Assistant Professor in Modi University of Science and Technology, Rajasthan, having more than 6 years of experience, in order to present the report on the key highlights of today's session. Over to Dr. Vivek.
Good afternoon to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue.
Good afternoon, Rajat sir. It was very amazing session, and it was very different also from the previous session, because it is concentrated on academy and industrial collaboration for the development of society. Somewhere today in the newspaper, I was reading that with some industry, Patanjali industry, with the collaboration of IIT Mumbai, they developed a corona test kit just for the rupees of 100. So it will be available, and it can be the corona test can be done in the home itself. So from your presentation, I have summarized from the following point that in the starting of the session, sir explained the value of the word called unity for new achievements. Unity is required for innovation, definitely. If we want to inculcate the research ability, then we have to respect the views of other people. Sir also talked about we should also respect and as well as accept the new thought of our young colleagues. Sir also explained the different role of the academic institution for the growth of society. For example, teaching, training, research, and outreach activity. Sir explained the meaning of outreach activities for achieving the journey of excellence. Sir talked about QS ranking and THE ranking. In QS ranking, 40% criteria is based on outreach activity. That is the importance of outreach activity. Professor Agarwal also discussed the importance of the engagement of academic institution with industry. Sir said that industry engagement is very important source for achieving the outreach activity. For industry engagement, research funding is very important, which can be provided by industry itself. For NIRF ranking, also active industry engagement is important. During the session, sir also emphasized that industry academic engagement is two-way process, so that both can respect the values of engagement for both parties. Sir also discussed the value addition to industry engagement with academic institution in terms of trained manpower, which can be achieved through teaching new curriculum, solving research problem, promotion of technology, and for sustainable development of new skills and knowledge. Sir also explained the various common way for academic institute industry engagement, like chair professorship, specific lab development, joint project, technology transfer, live projects, incubator, research park, which was started from IIT Madras. Sir talked about Uchchitar Avishkar Yojana, under which joint projects come. Sir talked about the development of closed loop ventilator by IIT Roorkee, which is available just the cost of rupees 1500. We all proud of on IIT Roorkee achievements, sir. Sir also explained about the sponsored research and industry consultancy, a consultancy group established by IIT Roorkee, which is only dedicated to industry engagement. He also discussed the various industry engagements done by IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and IIT Madras. So, sir, this was summary. This was very informative presentation by Professor Agarwal, sir. And you motivated to all the teachers who are very interested to do some research. So you show them some path that you can do this kind of activity so that you can improve your skills also apart from your teaching activity. So I conclude that industry engagement with academia will improve the skills of teachers and young generation so that our country will become a global leader in the world. Finally, it is my privilege to be the part of this knowledgeable and informative session, and I thanks to the organizer for giving me the opportunity. Now I handed over the session to the session coordinator. Over to session coordinator.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek Pandey. Now, may I call upon our chairperson, Dr. Shambhu Prasad sir, to take over the session.
Thank you, Joseph, madam. So thank you, sir, Dr. Rajat Agarwal. It was a very wonderful and informative session. I thank Dr. Vivek Pandey for summarizing the. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I thank Dr. Vivek Pandey for summarizing the key points of the today's session, which is very, very important session: industry engagement, collaboration, and development. I would like to add some points in addition to what my friend has mentioned to all the things. Our communication is very, very important for engagement. It should not be generic. It should be specific. Sir has given with example how to write a mail to an industry person when we are seeking the industry engagement. And he has also explained the importance of social media for enhancing the peer perception. And when we are approaching the industry, placement is one of the objectives, but our objective should not be, total focus should not be only on that. If you develop other kind of relations, the amount of efforts we need to keep in the placement domain will be relatively reduced. So in what way we have to get the industry engagement strengthened in our institutions, different mechanisms sir has clearly explained. And has answered the question of how to motivate the students to start startups in a wonderful way. That's basically basic infrastructure, not in terms of buildings, but two aspects are clearly required: pool of mentors to be established, college to create a seed fund. That is two important points. And success stories to be shared to the existing students to motivate them. And maybe initially quality of the startups may not be that good, but over a period of time, definitely they will be improved. And the transparent policy to encourage the startup should be known to the students. Then the students will come forward to share their ideas, which may lead to starting of the startups. So apart from this, so definitely in most of the institutions, this industry engagement, there will be a big gap. So we as academicians, we should be proactive to take up this domain and work to strengthen this particular domain. And the AICTE is also having two initiatives. Most of the people may be knowing, that is, they have started National Innovation Startup Policy and Institution Innovation Council. So if all the institution can take the support of that, so some improvement and some journey we can initiate in the domain of industry engagement, collaboration, and development. And I thank Dr. Rajat Agarwal sir for a wonderful informative session. And you have given a lot of information which is practically possible to implement. So I also take this opportunity to thank all the participants for your patient listening and participation in the process. And it's my pleasant duty to thank the organizers of the FDP for providing this opportunity. Thank you one and all. Now I request session planner Session, I request for further announcements. I request session.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. Please continue.
So with this,
with your permission, can I leave?
Professor.
Yes, sir. The session
Yes, sir.
is.
Thank you, sir.
Session is
Namaskar.
formally over.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
So with this, we have reached to the end of the session, and now I thank all the participants, dignitaries, and special thanks to Professor Ajit Agrawal, sir, for such a wonderful session. Thank you for being here. Our next session will start shortly, so I am handling over the session to Krishna Gupta. Over to you, Krishna, our next session planner.